Hey, Chris. Just a heads up, Soham is in Austin, so his network went down too. And the server is running on his computer, so we'll be using a backup. We'll be using backup data for our tech demo. Okay. So we are Revelio Systems, and we do performance metrics for cloud-based microservices. At Revelio, our vision is to provide a comprehensive microservice monitoring suite that will allow clients to be more proactive about the security of their applications. In order to realize this goal, we have assembled a team that consists of 4 highly technical and creative students with a mission to empower technology companies to reliably leverage microservices. The members are Akshay Mantri, Soham Roy,
Wentao Yang,
and Tejas Sabu. So, what exactly are microservices? To understand this, you first have to understand monolithic architecture. Monolithic architecture is the default model for creating a software app with a single unified unit with a client-side, server-side, user interface, and code base all in one place. This makes it easier to deploy but creates challenges with managing a huge code base, adopting new technology, and scaling. Microservice architecture, on the other hand, involves a collection of smaller independent units, which carry out every application process as a separate service. These independently deployable modules communicate through APIs to work together to create the unified software app. This is a new trend because if one service goes down, the entire platform does not crash. This enables rapid, frequent, and reliable delivery of large and complex applications, allowing organizations to evolve their tech stacks very easily, which is great for startups practicing lean.
As a result of the benefits, a large percentage of enterprise development teams are considering or have already migrated to the microservices architecture. As you make the switch, they will be looking for a monitoring tool for the services. Microservices are more intricate than traditional monolithic architectures, and traditional and current monitoring tools use a lot of resources as they need to be connected with every service and require application software instrumentation to enable data collection, which makes them more complex to understand and intrusive when setting up. Additionally, although data is collected, users are responsible for gathering relevant data and analyzing them. Tools that do well in addressing the previous 2 challenges require a complex infrastructure setup.
Our tool consists of 3 main steps. First, we monitor the network at the gateway of the microservice application. Second of all, we parse those PCAP files and calculate metrics using that network data. Finally, we use Grafana to visualize the metrics on a website. As a demonstration, we are showing our lab environment that we use to test our product. We have set up a simple microservice that has 3 basic functions: adding, random number generation, and multiplication. Eureka is the application that we're currently running, and this is what that front end looks like.
Yeah, we can't see it.
Actually, we can't see it.
We're only seeing the tech
I
demo.
think you need to share some different part.
Yeah, make sure to share your entire
Oh,
desktop. And
I gotta do a new share.
Not just an individual application.
Yeah, I see.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll go back. Steps. Okay. So this is our this is our front end for the microservice application, and then here are the graphs for.
So to visualize the metrics, we're actually using Grafana.
And so additional latency is programmatically generated. There are 3 main metrics that are currently visible: the number of queries per service, the frequency of latency ranges, and the latency by microservice over time. A little more details about our implementation. Our lab environment is spread over 3 physical servers. First, we have a gateway that terminates the TLS connection to the system. That server also runs Grafana and InfluxDB. Second, we have the server running our gateway, which is Zuul. The rest of the services, including Eureka, are running on the 3rd server. By isolating Zuul, we can be sure that the network traffic we collect is only going to go to and from the gateway. We have a Python script running on the Zuul server monitoring the local network interface. It filters out HTTP packets, determines the duration of each request, and sends that data directly to our collection application through a JSON file. The collection application is written in Rust, and it takes the data coming from the sniffer and formats it to put it into the database. Sensitive information like client IP addresses can be redacted at this point, so it's not stored long-term. Can you guys see that?
We see the tech demo slide now.
Okay, perfect. Our next steps consist of 3 main goals. Firstly, we want to enhance our front-end experience by improving the dashboard system and revamping our website to allow for better user interaction with the data. Secondly, we want to set up an alert system that notifies the client when performance dips under a certain threshold for an arbitrary amount of time. This would help the client address performance and cybersecurity concerns in a timely fashion. Lastly, we want to support more advanced metrics to ensure that our clients get the most meaningful results. As we move forward, our first course of action will be to hire 2 additional developers to help tune up the product and start licensing. As we develop further metrics and features, we will offer clients another option, Revelio as a software as a service product. As our number of clients increases, we will need to scale in order to appropriately meet demand. As we start turning in a quarterly profit, we will expand into other monitoring markets, such as containers. Finally, should the right opportunity present itself, we will pursue an exit strategy.
We are a B2B company where our clientele will primarily consist of tech startups and other companies that are using microservices. We will initially license our software to these companies and provide technical support for any issues. As we grow, we will transition to a software as a service model to improve the user experience. By 2026, the size of the global microservices architecture market will be over $8 billion. Actually, can you move the slide? Yeah. So by 2026, the size of the global microservices architecture market will be over $8 billion. More and more companies are transitioning to a microservice architecture, and they will need a tool to monitor this technology. Since we're a B2B company, our plan is to call and email tech startups and other businesses using microservices to inform them about our software and services. To improve the user experience, we will create high-quality informational videos explaining how to use the software and what its benefits are. We'll also make shorter videos to run as ads. To build our brand reputation and help educate the tech community, we'll start a technology blog. The blog will drive people to our website and help us reach more customers.
Here's our magic quadrant with competitors in the microservices monitoring segment. We believe that we are a challenger to the market currently. With time, our vision and analysis of the market will become much clearer, and we will gradually move towards the leaders quadrant with higher completeness of vision. Currently, we believe that the most complete product are cloud providers such as AWS, as they host the client servers and can gather large amounts of useful data. They, however, are configured for each instance, while we are configured for the entire microservice. Here is our expected income statement. In our first year, we are looking at hiring a web developer contractor and a backend engineer, and offering only a licensing option to our clients. We are only looking at Facebook and Google ads and a landing page for marketing at first, and we will hire marketing and salespeople along the way. The technology component takes into account the cost for servers and tools such as Grafana that we will be using. The other section for legal, the other section accounts for legal and accounting fees, which will start at $10,000 annually. As our tools become more developed, we will hire more backend engineers on top of our current employee pool and offer our software as a service to clients at a higher price, which comes with additional metrics, fast support, and additional features. We have set the cost to license to $2,000 per year and SaaS to $20,000 per year. We plan on gathering a large licensing customer base and start transferring them to SaaS clients. We can adjust the cost of our services at any time, and with our current projections, we forecast a profit in the third quarter of 2023.
All of us at Revelio Systems would like to extend a special thank you to Ms. Reagan Brickman, Mr. Shrikar Vinakota, and all of those at Trend Micro. We thank you for your time, and we will now open for questions.
My first suggestion will be, let's do a merger acquisitions. This team should either merge or acquire this network prediction teams. So you not only can monitor microservices performance, you can predict when the microservice will fail. So it's great, yeah, great job, particular microservice site, just like the team doing the IoT side. That's the future of the industry, right? The future of the industry is go to IoTs in the hardware industry and in the software industries is moving to the microservices. I'm really glad that the team is doing these both advanced and including all the marketing, sales, budgetings, and raising the funds. Some number might not match very well. But it just the spirit the team has. Yeah, I just feel very proud to have these teams and be part of it to see how the next generation entrepreneurs will be better than the last generation or previous generation entrepreneurs. You guys can beat the Googles, Facebooks, Amazons.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I would also like to say thanks to the Trend Micro team because as several of us have pointed out, this was a difficult problem statement and not one that I could help with in any way, shape, or form. So thanks a lot for working with the team on this. And there's a lot of good things in this presentation, but particularly you guys really did a good job of planning and thinking about the presentation part itself. So good job on the promotion and marketing and all that. The technical bit and everything else was fantastic, but great presentation as well. And Wentao, good job getting dressed up too. Any other questions or comments before we keep going there? Okay, so I mean, some of the other things in that presentation, great job on laying out your income statement and putting a little thought into the budgeting and the planning on all that. You know, we didn't spend a ton of time on that as a class, and that was probably the more thought out and detailed version of what some of the actual operating costs might look like in the first year or two. So nice job, and it did look like a viable idea and something that you could actually pitch as a you know, a viable project going forward.